Hey everybody, Matt the Monster, back with Marvel Heroes. And of course, we got the Herald of Galactus, the Silver Surfer. And, well, we already did the precursor video, and now we got his build. And the Herald has come. And, that's going to be the name of the build, the Herald. And, you know, it's probably going to be a semi-common build. It's movement-based. He's kind of an odd duckling. A very, very movement-based character if you build him that way. He can be many, many different ways, depending on how you go. But this is how I went. So, it's going to be spread out a little bit, but I did 20 points in polarity field, and the reason why I did this is because the damage absorption is nice and it's needed. For some reason he takes a massive amount of damage and he just gets punished, and so we need it. And then 20 points into subspace slipstream. This is a teleport. If you're a teleport fan, you're going to love this teleport, because this teleport does damage upon landing. As opposed to most other teleports out there which do damage upon leaving. This is going to do damage when you land. And if you hit something when you land, you get refunded some of the teleport cost. And it has a hefty cost, so that's an important factor of this teleport. It's not a teleport that you're just going to sit there and go zip, zip, zip across the screen. This is a combat teleport, basically. You're going to do 20 points in death from below, even though it's really death from above. You can see it's already got a massive damage number there. It's got a hefty cooldown, but every time you hit with a movement power, subspace slipstream, it's going to reduce its cooldown by a second. And it won't really need too many hits to get it down anyways. It's only going to take a couple, because we're going to have a big ol' rotation, kind of like Doctor Strange out there. And we're going to do 20 points into Supernova. This is that skill that you had to pay attention to before, because if you look, it's returning 17% of your maximum power cosmic per second for 1.5 seconds. So basically 26% of your power cosmics coming back to you every 4 seconds. This is awesome. It doesn't need to be on a faster cooldown. Don't even worry about the cooldown. It's going to fit in the rotation beautifully. Event Horizon. I mean, 70,000 damage a second for 8 seconds is just crazy. Plus, it locks everything in place and sucks everything in when you drop it. It's pretty awesome. 20 points goes into Deconstruct. Deconstruct is a nasty, nice little dot. It doesn't do massive amounts of damage, but once it hits everything, it's basically the entire screen, as you can see here. It's going to hit things off the screen. Everything that you hit that has that dot gives you back power cosmic, so it keeps you charged up. And that's why it's very important. And the more points in it, the more power cosmic you get back. So that's why we're really pointing it out. Plus, it's pretty good damage. As you can see, it also hits the entire screen. And then if you hit this, it reduces the cooldown of Reconstruct, which is important, because if you hit Reconstruct, it reduces the cooldown of Deconstruct, and really you want to be able to deconstruct a lot. I'm putting 20 points into Power and Conquered. This is giving us damage rating and crit rating, and it's increased 50% when we use a movement power, Slipstream. So, and that lasts for 8 seconds after we use that movement power, Subspace Slipstream. You can also use Board Dash. I was trying it with Board Dash. It's nice because the micro energy beam damage, where you sit there and zap, zap, zap as you're slipping around on the board, is nice. Even if you don't hit with the board, the zap, zap, zap counts. However, you don't always end up where you want to end up, and that's kind of problematic. I don't like that, so that's why I don't do the Board Dash. And the subspace slipstream, even without the zap, 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 ends up doing a lot more damage, because it's ending up going exactly where you want the damage to go. So then you got some 1-point skills here. We're going to put 1 point in Reconstruct to make sure you have it. And that's going to give you a pretty good health per second regeneration going on. And it's going to give you some extra power cosmic when you're hit. And really, we're doing that for the reduce the cooldown of deconstruct for 6 seconds. And we're going to micromanage those together. Currently, there is a bug, I'll let you know. Sometimes you will notice that if you hit deconstruct and then reconstruct, they'll start ticking down like 1 second apart. That means you didn't get the reduces the cooldown effect. Sometimes that will happen. I've noticed that. You're going to put 1 point into temporal recall. This is a regenerate should you die. Basically, uh-oh, I did something wrong, so I'll come back to life and still kill off whoever or whatever. You can activate it too for some stun and attack speed for 5 seconds every 20 seconds. I don't have space, so I'm not going to bother. 1 point goes into Cosmic Resonance. This is a gift, along with Polarity Field being a gift and a toggle as well. This gives us power, which is damage rating and movement and attack speed, and toughness, which is defense and health. So it's a very nice buff. And I put 1 point in Soar so I can move around easier in some screens. Because the teleport doesn't always function like a teleport. It's nice to have that moving around. I also put the rest of the points after that into Subspace Rift for some extra damage. And that's the build. And then the Herald has come. So what I do is I got Death from Below. With the way Power Unconquered works, if I haven't teleported in a little bit, I will teleport in and then Death from Below. Deconstruct, Reconstruct, Subspace Rift, Supernova. I may or may not Event Horizon depending on the situation, but you can see it's a massive amount of area going on with a little bit of melee. And then I will Subspace Slipstream a few times until Death from Below comes back up, and then I repeat the entire rotation. And then that way you have more than enough Power Cosmic. This you shouldn't really run out of Power Cosmic. I got River of the Soul going anyways, but even without River of the Soul, if you want to run something else, you should be able to maintain this without running out and still spamming Death from Below. I had no problems leveling, no problems in Test Center, although this is live and some things have changed even from the last iteration of Test Center to here. And it just works, and you can teleport away if there's a problem. You can teleport to something when you want to be there. And you can see, well, you can't really see, but the teleport's a pretty big point-blank area of effect. It hits a pretty wide swath, so it's pretty easy to hit and damage things. Even if they're summoning, you can do a lot of damage. Gearing, I saved up some stuff, so I got some pretty good gearing. It's a whole mess of a different type of gear mindset for this guy. What do I mean? I have a completely useless insignia. Not really. Every time I crit, I get some extra damage rating. I get some damage rating for melee powers, and I get some movement speed. So it's not bad. Really, it should be area powers. It should be hit points, and the crit for damage rating is fine. That's not a problem. The fact that it doesn't have hit points and the fact that it doesn't have area power damage is really the problem. The ring was Stone of Jordan. It's a real low-level ring. You can put it on early. It pays off in spades for this guy. Crazy, crazy awesome ring. May or may not be a reason why this type of build has been functional for me very easily. I've got the energy Uru. I'd rather a defensive Uru, but I don't have one. So, but I got an energy one, and it's fine. And we got River of the Soul. That's definitely maintaining a lot of Power Cosmic. I got a Power Prism Shard. It's okay. Could be better. 10-10. Some more crit rating would be fine. 500 Pluvian Superconductor is good enough. an electrometal, something you probably haven't seen, and you definitely don't see me use all too often recently since the changes. But what it does do is give us enough extra oomph on movement powers, because we are using movement power on this guy, to get some extra life going on and extra power cosmic to keep us fluid for quite some time, especially in cosmics. If you don't want to use the electric metal, I would suggest the Juggernauts or Doom. Doom's power duration extension is quite awesome. Advanced Phoenix Feather, a second regeneration effect, extra, 500 damage rating and energy tax. We are all energy, and some movement speed, very, very good. And of course, a Danger AI chip. This is kind of my go-to, if I can go to it, for replacement on Super Soldier, Advanced Super Soldier serums. This one is quite awesome, 330 damage rating and energy tax. And then you got an extra 300 energy damage rating once you start making energy or dealing damage. And then if your health drops below 30%, you gain a big amount of extra health regeneration. And you take less area damage, and you take less energy damage. He already has a substantial amount of that damage reduction, but that's good. I did throw the Cosmic Control Rod on him. This is quite, by far, probably the best thing that you could do. It's been buffed to no end. The +2 energy right there is 8% extra damage, plus another untold amount from the crit rating, and then 15% from 600 energy rating is pretty good. 23% damage rating from the legendary is great. I do have his full set of legendaries. I'm not using the full set though. I am using his Silver Savage Morning Star. This is good, gives us some extra damage on the dots. There's quite a few dots. Gives extra brutal strike chance and everything. I have a high crit chance. Lots of hitting crit damage. Everybody loves his damage number. It means nothing. The energy damage rating right now is 3,600, and there's another 2,500 that's hidden. So, actually 2,700, sorry. That's just hidden damage that's not counted because I'm not moving. I haven't used a movement power. I'm not using area powers. These stats don't stack up everything that's on your character. Using the Mantle of the Keeper of his, this is good. He's got the area damage and extra damage to bosses, and extra Silver Surfer power, cosmic powers. This is good. I'm using the Shield of the Silver Surfer. This is awesome. This is definitely good for this build. And then to beef him up, because without it he'd be pretty low in hit points and everything. Shield life support gear. This is phenomenal. If you got a low defense or you're lacking in hit points, 2,000 defense or over 2,400 defense, 2,000 hit points, 4,000 health regen. But when you drop below 50% health, your defense is increased by 5,600. That's awesome. And then 1 durability. That's awesome. That's how I'm getting to 8. And then I got a Shield Systems Reconnaissance Belt, which is responsible for another 1,500 health. So these two right here are giving me 3,500 health. I would be under 15k health, and there's no way I'm doing that. But there's a lot of crit damage, and this is a high crit character already through passives, through area crit. This is reduction to power cosmic costs, and 5% chance when I hit or defeat an enemy to slip into the shadows and gain invisibility for 3 seconds. That's going to be survivability really up there. And if I drop below 30% health, it says 30, but it's 30% health, so you get a little shield pet guy. And +1 all powers. It's pretty nice. So that's backing me up. And that's what I mean by he's all over the board. There's different types of supports: mana support, or in this case, power cosmic support, damage support, all around support. This is actually survivability support on the Electrometal. damage, survivability. You know, this is all around everything, movement. And then hit points on the core. Even with hit points on the core, 3-to-1 core with it +1 energy, so I'm getting extra damage on the core itself. And that's the character. Might as well go kill a cosmic Dr. Octopus as normal. It took quite a while to get something that was capable. I just throw the gifts over here. And the gifts that I use, even though I have Comet's Tail up, I use that when I'm in Midtown or something like that, just to leave that weight for 10,000 damage. That'll kill whites and everything. Something to keep in mind. But, you know, for the cosmics, I'm going to have the extra toughness and hit points, giving me up to 19,000. And I'm going to have the damage reduction and absorption shield. So, in the test center, everybody was having troubles in cosmics, basically, because he was really squishy. I mean, he was only at a 3 durability to start. And there's no pets to absorb damage. As you can see, you're getting hit here. I don't know what these guys are. Remember to reconstruct for that extra health regen. Get the tracker up. Haste, fleet-footed. Got some haste guys here, so they're gonna hurt. I'm not even doing full rotation yet on these guys. Kind of slamming around. Now I'm gonna do the full rotation. There's a yellow. You can see the death from below is quite phenomenal damage. It's destroying everything. That's really the goal, to get out there. If you deconstruct, you got to remember to reconstruct. I tend to forget myself, as you can see. Just because it gets the rotation in line. If you forget, your rotation's out of whack. Almost got another cake. Those birthday cakes are awesome. They give you so much. Also, the death from below, which is really death from above, is a CC. It stuns. There's a knockdown, knock-up effect type going on. And we only need 1 kill for the reward, so we'll get it here. slam in. Get everything rolling. We got everything nasty over there. I used a signature here. Signature is pretty awesome. We got lots of sentinels, so I'm gonna go kill these guys off. And that signature roots them in place pretty good, so it really opens up the ability to do some damage. Yeah, that was pretty easy. The toughest time has been Curse. It's usually like a 9 of 10, 10 of 12 type kill ratio there without dying. He has definitely some issues. You just mess up once and you hang around in the wrong spot. Because you're always sitting there going in and you're going like that, and then he goes like that to you. And sometimes you're just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But if you use to Curse, then you can get out of that wrong spot at the wrong time and be in the right spot at the right time. Anything good drop? Nope. Oh, the crane shard. No insignias. That's what I was hoping for. But it's really that easy. You just keep the rotation up. I kill off the extra adds because they're just a little too much damage, even with the higher durability and everything. I don't have the defensive Uru either. I really like that defensive Uru. But 45% damage reduction is pretty decent. And then it boosts up a little higher as you're moving along. And you kind of need it because you're always going into the thick of it. You're basically a ranged melee class, and you're always rolling through your rotation, just like Doctor Strange, and you're looking to burn the cooldown of one of the big cooldowns through subspace slipstream. And you can slip away when it goes bad. But that's it. That's the Herald. I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll talk to everybody later.